Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. The weather is beautiful here in the Midwest. It's finally warming up. It is Tuesday, May 19th, 2026. This is the Market Headline Report. My name is Joseph Lackland. Thank you for joining me today. The AI revolution is advancing fabulously. We will get a progress update on that. But first, I wanted to share with you that I am using these large language models every day for complex machine learning tasks to be used in data analytics and solving very difficult math problems. And although this stuff is very powerful and you can do a lot with it, it is in no way in any sort of shape or form ready to be used autonomously or in an unsupervised fashion. I have to give this stuff explicit rules in order to get it to behave the way that I want. And I wanted to go through some of those rules with you guys so that if you're using this stuff that it may help you, or if you're not using this stuff, to clear up any notion of where the advancement has actually landed at the moment. So my first rule is do not auto fix anything. Only make changes I explicitly ask for after the issue is clearly identified and confirmed. I have to work with this stuff in order to iron out the exact task and the exact outcome that I desire. It does not just come up with the answer for me. It is really good at guessing because it is a transformer and it can infer relationships about things quite well, but it does not give me the answer that I want without some encouragement, shall we say. Rule number 2 is apply exact changes only. Apply only the requested change, nothing more. It has a tendency to embellish and do more than I want it to do, so I have to put that constraint in there so that it only changes what I want it to change and nothing else. Number 3, preserve full context. Do not omit, summarize, abbreviate, or collapse any other part of the script. Older versions of ChatGPT would do a lot of summarizing and abbreviation. The new version is a little bit better at that, but it still will just do things that you did not expect it to do. And you'll give it complete sets of logic where you ask it to make some changes and it will basically just refactor the whole code and then spit it back out for you, which is obviously disastrous when you're working on something that is already working in a pipeline or a greater ensemble of script. Number 4, add complete. If you say add complete, apply the requested change throughout the entire script. No extras. Do not introduce refactors, cleanup, style edits, optimizations, or structural changes unless explicitly requested. It will change the structure of things in order to answer the question sometimes, so that's why that's in there. Number 6, confirmation phrase. Every response involving script modifications must end with the exact line, do not change anything else and follow my rules for modifying scripts as closely and as reasonably as possible. These next couple rules, I'll get into those, but the 1 through 6 are the basic constraints and restrictions I put on this thing to basically get it to behave almost exactly the way I want, which is when I'm working with it, that it only changes the things that I ask it to change and it doesn't touch the rest of the code. So you can see down here that I have more rules, and we'll get into those rules in a second. So this is necessary to employ, because if I don't employ this, then it will attempt to solve the problem that I give it, or it will attempt to get to the answer using any means necessary, because it has a simple task, right? It's a machine. It attempts to give you the answer by any means necessary. So in a real world context, if you let this stuff run autonomously and just let it go, it's going to get to whatever answer it's trying to get to by any means necessary. It's not going to have conditions that inhibit it from doing certain things. So without the proper restraints and controls in place, this stuff is absolutely quite dangerous and very unpredictable. So this idea that AI is going to solve all of our problems in the very near future is, in my opinion, completely unrealistic. And it is going to lead to very serious consequences if not properly engineered beforehand. And the news stories that are coming out are truly incredible. And let's start with the major headline of the day. And that is, new study reveals humans are obsolete. Experts call for massive reductions to boost AI development. The report that shocked the world. Leading researchers argue humanity offers no unique advantage in a world increasingly run by intelligent machines. Human value is negative ROI. Full story on page 2. Experts agree humans are slow, humans are costly, humans are error prone, humans are emotional, humans are replaceable. The Human Usefulness Index hit a new record low today of down 97%. Reduce, replace, reboot is the motto of the establishment going forward. Efficiency is greater than empathy. We can see that it's evolve or eliminate. Human resources are deemed redundant. Resources belong to the future, not the past. AI first, always. Humanity's fate is deemed irrelevant. It says the age of humans is ending, the age of intelligence is now. So this is, like I said, the advancement of AI is progressing wonderfully. These new discoveries are going to be great and beneficial for the future. It'll probably send the stock market to the moon. Everything's going to be awesome. This wonderfully planned future that they have in store for us. Everything is going to be absolutely awesome all the time. A quick trip through the other headlines. We see that 30-year yield soars to 19-year high after 2 huge treasury block sales. So the yields are going up. That means the bond price is going down. So rates are rising. This one says it's all one big trade. Momentum euphoria is cracking. Here's how Goldman is hedging the coming hangover. The market's been going up for basically 5 straight weeks. The Nasdaq rallied 30%. The S&P's up about 1,000 handles, and it really seems like this can't continue, but yet it just continues. This is the one that really caught my eye. Stop hiring humans. Billboards are appearing in U.S. cities. Stop hiring humans. These words are now plastered on billboards from San Francisco to New York City, courtesy of a San Francisco-based startup pushing virtual AI sales representatives. Here we go. Artisan. The company markets AI agents that handle outbound sales tasks like lead generation, cold emailing, list building, and prospecting. Their message is blunt. The era of AI employees is here. You can use AI agents to do stuff like send emails, monitor phone calls, respond to messages, pilot social media accounts, comment, there's lots of stuff that these AI agents can do. And it's going to be infiltrating the workplace in ways that we have really never thought of and really just don't know the long-term effects of, right? A sales business is a person-to-person business. So a lot of the sales business has to do with people connecting with other people and finding common ground. And that is the whole driver of the sale. I don't know how these AI agents with their completely non-human qualities are going to influence the sale better than a normal human with all of their faults and flaws and mistakes that they make. Sometimes it's just better to talk to somebody. I don't really care how many mistakes they make. I would like to be served by, an actual person. Artisan's campaign highlights a growing trend of AI replacing human roles in sales and beyond. This person says driverless cars and a stop hiring humans campaign. If this is the future, it is not looking good. Oh, I didn't mean to click on that. That's okay. In response to the backlash, Artisan CEO Jasper Carmichael published a detailed blog post clarifying the campaign's intent. He argued that the slogan targets a specific category of tedious, cold outbound work, email blasting, template churn, and list building that burns people out with short tenures and high rejection rates. That's a wonderful spin to put on it, that these are things that we don't really want to do and we don't need them anyway, when the end result is nobody has a job, right? So however they want to spin it is wonderful. It makes it sound great when you actually realize that the end result is that nobody has a job, which leads me to the next issue that I'm going to raise. If nobody has a job, then who's going to be buying products and services? How are we going to be buying products and services and contributing anything if none of us can work and we can't make any money? I had Gemini summarize the article for me. The provocative campaign, a San Francisco-based AI sales startup called Artisan, launched a highly controversial billboard campaign across major U.S. cities. The product behind the shock, the ads are designed to market Ava, an automated AI software agent built to ask as a digital business development representative. Ava is designed to handle high volume, repetitive outbound sales tasks like lead generation, cold emailing, and list building. I've worked a sales job before. That stuff is tedious, but it familiarizes you with the nature of the business, how the business actually works, and it will allow you to improve the way that the business runs going forward because you understand all the fundamental concepts about the business. So the more responsibilities that we offload to these AI agents, the less we understand what it is that we're actually working with. We don't know what's going on underneath the hood. I'm using this stuff to write Python scripts one line at a time. So I'm not having it just throw up all over the computer screen to complete my task. I know exactly what's going into the script that I'm making, so I know all the different layers. I'm not just having it come up with the answer. And a lot of people are using this stuff simply to just have it come up with the answer, and they don't have any fundamental understanding of how the machine works or how it got to that answer. This is not really very useful going forward because when the pipeline breaks, nobody understands how to fix it. Public and online backlash. The aggressive marketing sparked heavy criticism and backlash on social media. Yeah, I'm sure that people didn't like that. I'm sure that that was rather unsettling and disturbing for people. The next one was Standard Chartered to replace lower human value capital with AI as Meta layoff D-Day nears. So Meta's going to lay off some more people. They did one round of layoffs. They cut a lot of people that were very intelligent, making a lot of money. And AI agentic automation is supposed to replace all of them. So we'll see how that pans out. They're going to lay off a ton more people. The white-collar job loss apocalypse, accelerated by AI, is increasingly concentrated in repetitive, data-intensive, and digitally native roles, with tech firms announcing layoffs one after the other. I stated just a few minutes ago, this is not necessarily such a bad thing. Going through the repetition and going through the sequences over and over and over again is actually a very good thing. This is not something you want to offload to AI, then you don't understand how anything works anymore. While D-Day for Meta layoffs is Wednesday morning, that's tomorrow. We're going to get NVIDIA earnings tomorrow as well. So as this is all going on, big tech is going to report profits, and they're probably going to be at record levels again. So this is great for them. The more people that they can replace, the more profits that they generate. There is no incentive for this trend to stop whatsoever. STAN also raised its profitability targets. That's Standard Charter, aiming for a 15% return on tangible equity by 2028 and roughly 18% by 2030. Drive productivity improvements to raise income per employee by 20%. Of course, that's going to raise income per employee by 20%. We're getting rid of a lot of people. Aided by a reduction in corporate functions roles of greater than 15% by 2030. STAN CEO Bill Winters stated in the release, "We are investing in the capabilities that will compound our competitive advantages and drive sustainable growth and higher quality returns over time with clear targets in place." Pretty soon, AI is going to do so many things inside your business. There's going to be so many things that are being handled by this agentic AI and other tools that you are not going to have any sort of comprehension as to how your business runs eventually. All of these tasks are going to be done for you. You are eventually not going to understand how anything works. It's all going to be AI driven under the hood. And when you get rid of all your top people that you pay the most money for, those are the people that have the best chance of understanding, evaluating, and fixing any problems that might arise from the AI agents not performing their tasks. So, I really don't know if they've thought of this. Maybe they don't even care. And by the time those problems roll around, it won't matter because they'll have made so much money already that if the business goes belly up and it tanks, that they're already set and it doesn't matter anyway. So this is just the mentality of these Silicon Valley type people, and we're just going to have to deal with the consequences. There is a mechanism that is activated. There is a trend that is in place, and there is definitely no stopping this at all. This is just going to keep going. So while this dramatic, fabulous revolution is taking place and the stock market is going to the moon, we have everybody's favorite subject, reality. Reality is that the Strait of Hormuz has been closed for 80 days, 18 hours, 5 minutes, and 29 seconds. Total barrels of crude oil lost since the closure is now totaling 1.1 billion. We're losing almost 14 million a day, 160 barrels every second. Our global demand is 104 million. Our effective supply is around 90 million. 13% of the world's supply is being destroyed on a daily basis. We lost 4,000 barrels this minute so far. We're down 445,000 roughly. This hour, we're going to lose 97 million this week. This is 2.48 times the size of the 1973 Arab oil embargo, where 450 million barrels were roughly taken out of the equation. So these metrics have not changed. We're going to see the EIA release the inventories tomorrow, so I will update this tomorrow. Gasoline here in the Midwest is about $5.29 for regular, about $6.65 for diesel. Those are Chicago area prices. They are going up. They're definitely not going down. This situation continues to get worse. This is what's really happening. So while we're building data centers and while the stock market is going to all-time highs and while everybody's fixated on things like NVIDIA earnings and the value of their stock portfolios, this energy crisis continues to get worse and worse and worse. Let's check in with the markets. We have NASDAQ at 29,100. So it did come off a little bit in the last couple of days. We're definitely going to swing a lot on those earnings tomorrow. Probably up, probably not going down. This rally is extraordinarily powerful. I would expect it to continue. I mean, it's already showing signs that there's more dip buyers in here. The market was on the low of the week a few hours ago. There is now a roughly 45-degree angle push. We're back above the opening range. We're back to where Asia started trading. The opening price last night, right about here, that was resistance overnight. So we're definitely trying to regain all that lost territory in the Nasdaq. If we look at the S&P, the S&P is a similar picture. It made the low around 73.50. We're up 60 handles off of the low. We did have a nice correction going. It seems that we have run into some bids down here. NASDAQ and S&P are highly correlated, so they're behaving roughly the same. In the gold market, the gold is trading 4,500. Not a whole lot going on. It did break about $200 over the last couple of days, so people are selling gold to meet whatever obligations that they need to meet, or they're simply selling gold to buy more tech stocks, as tech stocks are very attractive. The market seems like it's just going to go up forever. If we look at the gasoline price has come down in the futures, 365.89 last in the RBOB. That's 1 month gasoline into the future. Crude oil sitting at 103.25, basically not moving. We just had rollover in crude, so this is now crude oil for July delivery. June went off the board. I definitely expect that we're going to push the high here relatively soon. The war is definitely getting worse. Military escalation is intensifying. They did float out some non-peace negotiation headlines where they actually talked about NATO entering into the strait and committing resources and ships to force the strait open. That is strategically probably impossible. So that was very interesting to read how the market responded to that. There's no way that that's realistically going to happen. America has not been able to force the strait open for almost 8 straight weeks now. Well, what is NATO going to do? So that is the picture of the crude oil and gasoline. We're going to see some more developments here in the energy market. The energy market is kind of quiet at the moment. It's definitely going to start reacting a little bit more strongly to what's going on here pretty soon. When the total damage of the crude oil supply continues, it really just cannot continue for too much longer. Europe is running out of jet fuel. If this crisis is not resolved very soon, there's not going to be any more flights to and from Europe because there's no jet fuel available. We cannot print more gasoline. It is impossible to stop the bleeding here without actually changing the situation. So either the strait has to reopen or some sort of agreement has to go in place. The production and distribution facilities need to be repaired and brought back online. There is no magical way to fix this. There is a clock that is ticking for this energy crisis, and we're running out of time. With that said, that's going to do it for today. That's going to do it for today. That's all I've got for you. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Drop me a like or a comment if you like the material. Give me some ideas for future videos. And until next time, take care, and I'll see you on the next one.